everyone, Lead Magnet 12 here. I'm deciding to do a vlog because, well, I haven't done one in over a year, and there are some of you out there that are probably wondering, because of how erratic my streaming has been lately, what's been going on. And in this vlog, I'm going to go ahead and update you on that and everything that's going on. For some of you that may know, I moved in with a friend of mine about August 1st, was a year ago. So a little over a year ago, I moved in with a friend of mine that I'd known for about 8.5 years. They had told me, hey, I need a roommate who won't screw me over. Let's go ahead and have you move in with me. We'll find a 2-bedroom apartment, and everything will be good. Now, at the time, I'd been living for about the better half of 5 years, going on 6, in New Mexico. Oof. Let's just say that I couldn't wait to get out of that state and the area that I lived in. I was staying and living on some property with some really good people, but I just couldn't stand living there. I love colder climates, snow, and stuff like that. It was too hot during the summers, too dry. So I was like, yeah, I'll move in with you. So I moved in with him, and at the beginning, everything seemed alright, although right off the bat, he borrows money from me, and it was like, he's like, hey, can I borrow $100? And I'm like, sure. Yeah, you can borrow $100. Goes out and builds a computer. And I'm thinking, well, I figured you needed to borrow $100 for a bill or something, help pay something off. No, he goes out and builds a computer. I guess he was saving up money to build a computer. And he figured instead of waiting for another $100, just borrow from me. And by the way, I never paid it back. But anyways, but other than that, everything seemed alright. And then things started happening. That November, December, he couldn't come up with his half of the rent and made me pay the entire month's rent by myself, pretty much. Then things started getting screwed over here and there, and eventually it came to the point where he took 2 months' worth of the entire rent, my money included, and spent it on who knows what. The only person who knows what he spent it on is him, basically. I'm not naming names, obviously, for obvious reasons, but yeah, he did that. And I didn't find out until the late fees were built up to nearly $1,000 more, so about $3 grand behind in rent and late fees. And I called the landlord crying because I had no idea how it gotten this way. And then she called him, he called me, he fessed up, and I told him, you know what? Because he asked for my forgiveness, and I'm like, yeah, I can forgive you. But if you're having a problem, you should have told me first so we could have knocked it out before it got this bad. That's the kind of person I am. I'm very kind-hearted, giving, and forgiving. Almost to a fault, even. Because I'll give of myself until I'm even detrimenting myself to help somebody else. And he took total advantage of that. I found out that he was actually a very violent person. he never actually got physical with me. I never let him get that far, but he got physical with other people. A couple of my good friends, even. He started. He had set up a payment plan with our landlord, and he said that he said that he got 3 jobs, but still couldn't pay it back all by himself. And so I decided to pitch in because it was my roof over my head too. And I told him, you know, we're going to keep track of every time I pitch in, and every time I pitch in, it's going to go on a record. And on that record, once this is all paid back, you're going to start paying me back. Never happened. And he kept on not making his payments and finding excuses to not make his payment and making excuses that, when I checked back, found out that they weren't even true. You know, it's like, if you're going to make an excuse, at least, you know, have some truth to it. There was no truth to any of it. Lied, cheated me, stole from me, things started disappearing from my room. A couple DS games that he still won't fess up for. And I've actually cut off all contact with him, cut him completely out of my life. He tried to gain unauthorized access and hack my Facebook, my Gmail. He hacked several of my friends. Our mutual friend that dropped over $1,000 to help us get the apartment that we had in the first place. He had hacked their Facebook. And essentially, he went from being this cool guy who had problems, who was turning over a new leaf, to that creep you warn your children about. Yeah. Anyways, needless to say, he eventually tried a method to fix the rent problem that breached the lease and lost us the apartment, because even though the landlord was willing to work with me, she removed him from the lease and evicted him from the apartment separate, and which left me with the apartment and all of the back rent that was left to be paid. Now, I couldn't find anybody who was willing to take over his room and help pay off the back rent. There was just no way it was going to happen. Nobody wanted to deal with that. So, I lost the apartment. I had to give up on it. I couldn't continue. So, and sorry if I have a pause here and there. It's really hard to deal with all this stuff. But anyways, so one of my good friends, who lived north of me, said, "Hey, I understand what you're going through. You can come and stay with us for a little while until you can get back up on your feet and get your own thing." And, I was like, well, yeah, that's going to probably be a possibility. And I've been talking with them here and there about this possibility for like 2 or 3 months before it actually happened. Because I knew it was going to happen, I just didn't know when. My gut told me, you know. Anyways, so I went and stayed with them. I drove to and from work. It was 120 miles a day. It was redonkulous, the drive. But I eventually, you know, I found a job closer to where I was staying with my friend that paid more, and was doing something that I enjoy. And then I found this RV that I'm in now, and went and bought it, because I already had a truck to pull it, and there were several things that happened with this RV that really touched me, you know, right in the feels. The first was that I found this RV. I had made agreements to do 3 payments to buy the RV in full, and then I had to find an RV park to put it in. So I made the agreement with the person, and I told him if I come out and I like it, I'm definitely doing it. Then I started hunting for an RV park while I was finding that, and I eventually found one. It wasn't the one I wanted, but hey, place to put it. Simply because it's really hard to find an RV park that'll take an RV as old as this one is. This one is from 1983, and yeah. When you're trying to find an RV park that'll take a 1983, most of them will hang up on you. But anyways, so getting my train of thought back. The first thing that happened that really touched me is that the friends who had opened their home to me, as soon as they found out that I had found a trailer, they offered to, and then did, cover more than half of what the trailer cost. And yeah, they'd done so much for me. And then they did even more, and I can't thank them enough. It's... I really need to turn that off. My screen turns off. Anyways, they, yeah. They did help me a lot. And I just said, here's half of it, or over half of it, and when you can get us back, you know. You betcha I'm gonna get them back for that, you know, help them. But anyways, the second part of it is that the person selling me the trailer, because it is a fifth wheel, it requires a special hitch for the back of the flatbed of the truck. They were originally selling the trailer for $1,200, and I offered them $1,000, and they said, well, we'll just throw the hitch in for free, and I'll even help you install it. So, and I haven't had any contact with the person that sold me the trailer since, but if you end up running across this video, thank you. You did so much more than you had to for me, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so I found a trailer, I worked on paying for it, I found an RV park, and I got all set up in the RV park, and I'm like, good, I can finally be independent and take care of, you know, just take care of myself and work towards bettering myself and my situation and help people back who helped me. And then I got a letter in the mail from the landlord of the apartment. They told me that, telling me that they needed a lump sum of money before the 3rd of November, or they were going to send lawyers after me. And you know, you get to a point where you feel stable, you feel independent, you feel secure, and then reality slaps you in the face again. So I called another friend, called in a favor, and they're helping to take care of that. Some of the best friends that I could ever ask for have really proven their worth without even, you know, sorry, it's hard to find words. I just know that I'm really appreciative of the friends that I know that I have. The people who stood up and helped me in my time of need. And, you know, part of also telling you guys what's up is also saying thank you. Because I really appreciate everything. And it's hard to express that for me a lot of the times, because I'm not very good at expressing myself. A lot of people can even see that even when I stream. I'm very quiet, very, you know, laid back. Part of the reason why whenever I stream I try to do things with other people, because I've always had social problems. A lot of you know that I have social anxiety, and part of streaming and YouTubing was to help me get over that. And I eventually came to the realization that I'll probably never be able to get over it, but I can at least find a way to cope with it. And not only have my friends help me in my hour of need, but they help me cope with a lot of the problems that I have. And so for that, from the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody who's helped me, who has supported me in my channels, and who's been there for me, even just to lift me up emotionally. I appreciate it. You're my day-to-day heroes. But yeah, so that's why my streaming and video posting has been so erratic and nearly non-existent. I'm just starting to get stable again, and it's been physically and emotionally exhausting for me. In fact, today was my day off from work, and I finally got out of bed near noon. Ate a little food, watched some YouTube, played some video games with a friend, and then went back to bed around 5, and was asleep until about, I want to say, 30 minutes ago, and it's 9:46 now. And I'll probably end up going to bed around 11 and waking up around 10 a.m., 11 p.m. to 10 a.m., and it's just, I've been so exhausted. And so, I apologize that my video posting and my streaming has not been consistent, as I've been saying I want it to be. But as soon as I can get out of this emotional and physical exhaustion and get to the point where I can balance it all, I'm going to have it consistent again. Again, I apologize. It's been a rough road. And I thank those who have been so understanding of the situation. And so now you guys all know. But yeah, I've been trying to get some things set up for some new stuff here. I'm gonna try and do an intro video for the stream, as well as an outro video. I've got some things planned with some of my streaming and YouTubing buddies to try and do something for our viewers to sort of get us out there more, and yeah. But anyways, that's what has been going on. That's what we got planned. Gonna try and get caught up with sleep and all that, and get consistent. Anywho, that's about all the time I have for a vlog right now. I don't really know what more to talk about. When I have more to talk about, I will do another vlog. But anyways, thank you for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, comment down below if you have any suggestions. I want to hear them. The more suggestions, the better my content gets. The more, you know, input. So again, thank you for watching, and stay crazy, my friends.